Hello and welcome to Happy for PR podcasts. Today I'm here with John Siddique. Hello, John.
Hello, Fiona. You all right?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, it's a beautiful day in Hebden Bridge. Yeah, I've just had my wheatgrass from you. It was lovely. I feel very, very healthy right now.
I am the pusher man of wheatgrass,
You
coconut
are?
and apple juice. Yes, I am.
You are the juice man.
I am.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your authentic living. You've done a few workshops. You've done one workshop, which was in February. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, it was so profound, it's actually quite hard to talk about. It was an astonishing weekend. I think the whole authentic living thing actually comes from my own desire and my own practice to live authentically, to live a real life where I feel like I've actually walked on the planet and loved people and been here. And I realised that it's so easy and common and societally put onto us that we don't live in that way, you know? It's like so many things are kind of built to distract us from who we really are. And the whole point behind the weekends are for us to remember who we really are. So we come together and we have very simple guided meditation practices and discussions, and we do some journaling and eat lovely food that you make, which is great. Kind of come together in kind of like the truth of ourselves. And that's what the first one was like. And the second one will be even more so, I think, because we're going to be looking at the interesting subject of love and how we love ourselves and love others.
What I loved about the weekend was the fact that we went on some meditations together, and also we were able to kind of tune into ourselves and learn a few techniques as well to help our everyday life, which was very, very useful, which I've actually taken into my everyday life and used. So you gave us good practice as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. The thing is that we need very simple things that we can use, very simple, realistic human tools. And it's not about utterly changing everything that you do and going on some kind of radical spiritual diet or anything like that, but just simple things that we can do which actually allow us to be in our being.
I think it's a very down-to-earth practice, and one that many people can get involved with. It's not far removed from people's kind of worlds and language.
It has to be real, doesn't it? That's the thing. I think it's very easy to sort of over-idealise things. We want to run to the end before we've kind of put one foot forward a lot of the time, or I do anyway, I know that with me. And so I've had to kind of really kind of slow down and come back and create quite simple tools, and it's just lovely to share those with people and watch them have a real effect.
So tell us about the next workshop.
The next workshop is all going to be about love, because it's what we all want. It's the biggie. It's the thing that kind of every single being on this planet wants, and yet it's right there in us. But we often forget how to access it. So just like in the first workshop where we developed simple tools to kind of connect to our being, this one will be kind of focused on how we kind of connect to our love, our true source of love that is just our life, basically. And we don't do that with the mind. We can't do it by thinking it. We have to do it by allowing it. And so it's about letting the kind of tensions go so that we kind of move into that loving space. And that's what we're going to concentrate on the first day. And on the second day, we're going to then look at, and this is where things get very exciting, is then how we then relate to others from that. So we will kind of, look very definitely at kind of how we relate and love other people and how we receive love ourselves.
One thing to think love and another thing to feel love, and to actually practice it as well every day with the self-loving is, for some people, quite hard to do.
I say it's hard for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely not raised in an idea of self-loving, and it's even thought of as being wrong. And when we do try to do it, we tend to come at it from egoic patterns of kind of, it can be a bit hedonistic or not grounded in reality. And so I'm only interested in working with what's real. We have to live while we're here, and so we want a real life. We don't want a fake life where we lived inside a shell, pretending things. We want to actually have lived.
Yeah, we can't. You can't fool yourself, can you?
No, that's it. You can't. Well, you can, maybe. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we can.
For a certain amount of time, and then
we come up with a new one, a new distraction, and a new distraction, and a new distraction. We run and we run and we run.
Yeah.
But when we stop, and we just have the courage to sort of sit down on our own or together, in these workshops, or with a good guided meditation or something like that on CD or something, then that really courageous step of actually saying, here I am, this is my life, and we're all capable of that. Every single person is capable of that. It's not about being anything other than we are. That's it. We don't have to become somebody else. It's about, otherwise you wouldn't be you, you'd be somebody else.
In another words as well, it's about learning how to love yourself.
Yeah.
Learning about what you need, learning about what you want, and then being able to follow steps to get that as well.
Yeah, and we're going to use some reflective journaling practice to kind of look at those things, because that's something that people really enjoyed on the last weekend, was the kind of the use of kind of simple writing techniques to kind of reflect on who they are and where they want to move to. And that's something I've done a lot myself in my life. It's one of my main practices. And then from a meditational or being side of things, we'll then kind of sit with that stuff and allow ourselves to connect to that love that's in us.
So tell us about where the workshop is, how we can book a place, what else we'll be expected to have in the form of equipment and things like that.
Yeah.
To bring on the weekend.
Simple practical things. The workshop's going to be in our lovely Hebden Bridge, where it's very, very sunny at the minute. In fact, it'll be in your gorgeous space.
Yes.
And
Buttercup Home.
Buttercup Home. Food and loveliness is provided by you and the lovely environment. And you can book online from my website, which is www.johnsiddique, that's JOHNSIDDIQUE.co.uk. I'm sure there'll be a link below this podcast. Things to bring. So if you have a meditation cushion, that would be very, very useful. We have mats and things for sort of, if you fancy having a lie down, you can do that. Bring some nice warm but loose clothing. A notebook and a pen would be very, very useful as well.
Recently as well, we've just been in the studio.
We have.
That was an experience.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a wow experience. So tell us a little bit about that.
I've recorded my first meditation CD, which is an amazing step. I just want people to be able to access these tools very simply and cheaply. Went into the recording studio and we actually turned the vocal booth into a meditation space. I think something that, I don't know if it's unique, but the thing I think that is very special about these recordings is that they were actually done from meditation. So I sat in meditation and then sort of guided from there, so that when somebody sits with these CDs, they're actually sitting with a kind of a meditator. It's not somebody just reading a script. It's actually coming from that best part of myself, the infinite part of myself. And so it's just lovely to share that. And there's 2 meditations on the CD. One is about sort of living your authentic life and connecting to yourself. And the other is about being connected outwardly into the world and everything around you. It's wonderful. So we're just in the process now of getting those made up into CDs, and they'll be out quite soon.
Will they be available for the next workshop?
Yeah, they will. You should just be in time, I think, don't you?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, it's wonderful kind of going on the journey with you and also experiencing things as I go along as well. But I just think the next workshop is going to be amazing. I think there's going to be a lot of insights, realizations, and a lot of love. It's a lot of love in the room, and I think it's going to be wonderful. So everybody who, if this resonates with anybody, definitely book on this workshop, because I think you will learn a lot and you'll give a lot back to yourself. So again, can we give you the details of the website? It's
www.johnsiddique.co.uk, and the retreat is the 30th and 31st of May in Hebden Bridge.
What's the retreat called?
Loving yourself and others.
Thank you very much, John.
If you'd like to know more about John Siddique and his workshops and retreats, please go to the link below. Thank you for listening.